Beanie Ball Talk. Hey guys, welcome back to Beanie Ball Talk. We will be without Zach this week, but we are going to dive right into our recap of Week 17. We have got 1 week left of the regular season in the NFL, so we'll just real quick. We already talked about the Christmas Day games. The Chiefs beat the Steelers, so they're sitting everybody this week, and the Ravens beat the Texans. But they are in a must-win, so they'll be playing starters. The first game we'll recap is the Seahawks beat the Bears 6-3. This game was awful. Thursday night football, day after Christmas, super boring, awful. The Seahawks, I think the writing was on the wall. They knew their season was over because of the way things shook out. The Rams ended up clinching the division, and the Seahawks will not be able to make the playoffs. So, Seahawks, I think they have a chance to get. What do they have? 10 wins?
They're out. They're out.
No. How many wins do they have?
9.
They have 9. So first year head coach, if you get 10 wins, that's pretty awesome, man. Just a recap on their season, like what's McDonald, or is that his name?
McDonald. Yeah.
Yeah, he great first season as a head coach. They're on the right track. He got that defense back where it is, but I think we can all agree the Seahawks are not a serious contender as long as they have Geno. They need a quarterback for the future. I wonder if that's where they go in the draft.
Question: Are they the worst potential 10-win team ever?
No, the year the Steelers went like undefeated and were just terrible, but they just found a way to win, and like they were like 10-0. Do you remember? This was like a few years ago.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was when Roethlisberger was like so fucking washed, and they were terrible. It might have been his last year. Yeah, but
anyways,
Steve, they were
I agree,
such a bad team.
They'll never win a championship with Geno. However, he's a good quarterback that is going to, win you likely 9-10 games a year. Like, ride that for a little longer, see what you can get out of him until you can then make your move. You don't have to do it just yet. It's hard to get a fucking quarterback in this league. If they...
Oh, I agree, but they need to draft or pick up the guys for the future. And then the Bears are just ass. They're a dumpster fire. They suck. Scott, anything on them? Either of them? All right, next game, we got the Chargers absolutely shit-canned the Patriots 40-7, and they ended up clinching a playoff spot with this win. Good on the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is an incredible coach. Just goes to show how important coaching is in the NFL. First season coming in with that roster, he's got one of the more impressive resumes as for coach of the year, I think, just because of the roster that he inherited. He had to offload a lot of bad contracts. They were playing with like shitty cap rules, and they just paid Herbert. Their future is bright with Harbaugh there.
He's the only coach in NFL history to take over a losing team and make them a playoff team twice.
Yeah,
in his first year.
He did it with San Fran when I believe he's the second best coach in the NFL.
Because I wanted him to go to the Bears, dude, because I didn't want him in the Chiefs division, and it would have been cool to see the Bears like relevant again. They're just a joke, dude. They've been a joke forever.
Yeah, but they never will be, Steve, because if the Bears had any kind of brains, they would have fired Eberflus, and they had every chance to hire. It's not like they don't have the money to pay Harbaugh. They fucked up. They're a bad organization, and they should suffer for being a bad one. Also, flip side, Patriots are doing the best tank job of all time. They have their quarterback of the future, and they're sitting in the first overall pick right now. So they're probably going to sell that for a lot.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Great for them, man. They're sitting pretty in the number one spot. No, why would you? You could drop back to 3 and get Travis Hunter, and get a first round pick next year. They have the cards.
There's no must have first overall pick though this year. Like the demand for Cam Ward or Travis Hunter or Shedeur is not what it.
I think someone would pay up for Shedeur, but there's so many stipulations with Shedeur. Like you have to be a team that he wants to go to, so that restricts you with trade value and stuff. But I mean, yeah. Oh darn, we drafted Travis Hunter first overall. Like that's not a bad situation to be in. So, Patriots almost 1 week away from perfecting the best tank job I've seen in years. All right. Next game, Broncos Bengals. This was an epic game. It went to overtime. Broncos came back and had an insane. Joe Burrow, they score a touchdown, they sneak it right with like a minute 30 left or something like that, and Bo Nix with ice in his veins drives down the field, throws a touchdown pass. This was the Marvin Mims game. He went off.
I know, what the fuck.
And then
why don't we let Steve talk about his game of the year?
Oh yeah,
dude,
sorry, I forgot.
It's been a long time.
This is my fucking game of the year. It was the most intense roller coaster I've ever been on my entire fucking life in front of my entire wife's family. It was insane. I fell to my knees like 3 different times thinking this was lost. Then I had to explain to my little nieces and nephews why I'm so animated about the Bengals and the Broncos games. They're all huge Chiefs fans, and they're like, we hate the Bengals and Broncos. Why are you rooting for the Bengals? I was like, let me tell you a little story. So they got a little lesson.
Did you have to explain spreads to them?
I don't think my in-laws loved it too much, but they were cool, and then they were somewhat supportive. I was like, I don't do it often. But anyways, so the crazy part is, no.
Well, you weren't lying.
That's
you don't
true.
do games of the year often.
I told Frank, this is my game of the year. It's a big deal. My reputation's on the line. They're about to hit that game-winning field goal in overtime, and I was like, well, damn, this is a push. That sucks. Like, I don't want to push. A push on a game of the year is like the lamest thing ever. Then he misses.
You got so
kick,
lucky
and I fall on the
that
ground.
their kicker
blows. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose. That's worse than a push. And then just all the hijinks that took place, and then T. Higgins going off, and then not trusting the kick.
That's a good reminder. I forgot in overtime that Denver got the ball back, so they had every chance to win this game and clinch playoffs. And I mean,
Denver
it was a great game, though.
2 drives
Unbelievable
in overtime,
game.
and they were 3 and out at both times. But anyways, when Cincy goes down, and they don't trust their kicker because he just missed it, so then they just score the touchdown. Overtime was, oh my god, it was so awesome.
You got very, very lucky, but nothing matters.
Lifetime.
Game of the year hit.
Oh, there were doubts.
Never a doubt, right? Yeah, no, game of the years will have you on the edge of your seat. All right.
Unless you pick the Cowboys week 2 and it's over in the first quarter.
You talked all shit on the Cowboys and then proceeded to pick them for game of the year. I don't have sympathy.
Kevin, that Saints team was special.
It was
2-0.
Weeks 1 was it weeks 1 through 2 or 3?
1 and 2. 2-0 with like 100 points.
Derek Carr in the first week next season, I'm betting a lot of money on.
Pop up under this.
Okay. All right, next game. Rams take care of the Cardinals, and with this win, they clinch the division. The Cardinals were still alive in this point. If they would have won out, Rams lost out. But they lose a tight game, 13-9. It wasn't very entertaining at all. The Rams' offense has kind of fallen off these last few weeks. They don't look like the scary team that some people might have thought earlier in the season.
I almost made the Rams my lock of the week. I thought they were going to blow the Cardinals out. So this game had me pretty scared.
This was a bad, ugly game. Like, and the Cardinals, man, like, they were not technically eliminated, but they acted like it. The Cardinals was a roller coaster this year.
That's why I thought the Rams were going to kill them.
Yeah, so I think, so the Rams win the division. They're in the playoffs, so good for them. I just don't think they're going to do anything with it. The wild card teams in the NFC are crazy, so I don't. We'll get to that a little bit later, I guess. The next game, Eagles shit pumped the Cowboys at home, 41-7 in the Kelly Greens. That had to feel good. This was Scott. I'm forgetting his name.
McKee.
Yeah, Tanner McKee. This was the Tanner McKee game.
2 touchdowns.
Kenny Pickett was slinging it in this game, and so was Tanner McKee against
Cooper Rush.
fucking what's the Cowboys guy?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush. Like 3 all-time quarterbacks you'll never remember in 10 years. Great win for the Eagles. Saquon gets 2,000 yards. That was the biggest storyline out of this. Just an unbelievable season for Saquon. I think we're all big Saquon guys. He's a good dude. You love to see it. This next week, I think they're gonna end up sitting him, but I really wish they would play him because he's 106 yards away from the all-time record. Dude, honestly, I think it's part of it is I think Eric Dickerson is just the biggest douche. So maybe it's just bias for me, but here's the thing though. Here's my thing. Hear me out. I think, first of all, I think it should be the players' decision, not the teams or not the coaches. Second of all, if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, which is likely, then you look back on the season, it's like, oh, wow, we didn't win the fucking Super Bowl, and I had a chance at something that he probably will never have a chance at getting again. I'm sorry, man. I'm in the camp of you fucking try to get the record.
The coach's job is to make the decision, not the players. Like, that's what he's paid to do.
Yeah,
he's keeping the best running back in football healthy for the playoffs instead of breaking a meaningless record when he gets an extra game as well.
Meaningless? He's etched in the history books forever. I don't think it's meaningless at all.
I'm just saying, like, he gets 17 games to do it. It's already, in my opinion, kind of not legit, but also Sirianni needs Saquon or they're going to be one and done.
I know. I don't disagree with that. But again,
players
when you
make the decisions,
when you look back on the season and the Eagles are not the Super Bowl champions, because I'm pretty confident in that. What do you look back on? Saquon had 2,000. He had a chance to break it, but he didn't.
Dude, I promise you,
I hate that.
Every Eagles fan, if they don't win the Super Bowl, they truly don't give a fuck about Saquon's.
Yeah, well, that's because Philly fans are pieces of shit and they don't care about any of their players. They just care about winning.
Respect. I mean.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, but like also they're scumbags. But moral of the story, Saquon is the MVP of the Eagles. That's for damn sure. Any other thoughts on this game? Dak looked sick in the box. All right, next game. The Bucs. Oh, I forgot about this. The Bucs kill the Panthers 48-14. The Bucs might be the most hot and cold team in the NFL. When they're on, and when they're not, they're not. But this game was huge for them. They are in the driver's seat. If they win next week, they will clinch the division and win, no matter what happens with Atlanta. So good on the Bucs. They are in prime position. So,
dude, Baker's disgusting.
Any thoughts on that one?
40-something touchdown passes. It's insane. He has 30. He has 39.
He's having an incredible
passes.
year. Like,
he's
statistically,
gonna be over 40. Like, that's so.
He's gonna have 4. We said he's on pace for 4K and 40 touchdowns. 4K, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, 45.
No, he's on pace for 45.
If he goes over 250.
Damn.
He's got 45, and then he'll probably throw a touchdown pass to Mike Evans. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. All right. Next game, we got the Bills that absolutely beat the shit out of the Jets, 40-14. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself. He's smiling on the sidelines and joking around like this isn't serious, but like he seriously is not good. He's completely washed. It's one of those things that you hate to see, honestly, like when a great quarterback starts falling off so bad that they're just in denial. You saw it with Ben Roethlisberger, you saw it with Peyton Manning, but like it's happening to Aaron. So
he is coming off the Achilles injury. I think everyone forgets that, but also like it's just when it's time, it's time. Like
he's 41, dude.
Dude, I mean, they took him out of the game. And Tyrod Taylor drove down the field twice.
It just shows how incredible Tom Brady was.
Yes. Time comes for everyone, literally but Tom Brady. Yeah, it's a real thing. But Bills go nuts. Josh Allen was stat padding for his MVP, so good for him.
unselfishly. They hand off the ball. Like, that's why I hope it doesn't really. Because if it goes down to stats, Lamar technically has the best stats, but they don't tell the story, dude. Because
yeah, Lamar also is going to be a wild card team, and Buffalo is going to be the 2 seed with their
Ravens will be the 3.
Yeah, but they're going to be the 2 seed with their
exactly.
with the best seeds only loss coming to them. Like, Buffalo has had a way better season and with a way worse roster. Let's be honest. Like, offensively, the Ravens are way more stacked than the Bills.
Some way, since he gets in, it has to be Joe Burrow.
I agree. I don't think since he's getting in, they need a miracle. But if they do get in, I 100% agree with that. No matter what, if the MVP trophy goes to Lamar, I will be pissed. And it's really a shame because if they would have done the right thing last year and given it to McCaffrey, then I would have no problem with Lamar getting it this year. And that's the real fucking shame of all of this because the NFL fucked up last year. Dude, they're going to fuck Lamar over this year.
Feelings about this. It's like everyone wants to give out Lamar these fucking participation trophies because he can't win the big one. And they're like, oh, he's such a talented black quarterback.
They got to secure his Hall of Fame jacket,
every quarterback rushing record there is. And he is a good quarterback. But it's like everyone fucking babies him and they give him all these participation trophies. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. What you sent to me today about Pat not making the Pro Bowl. I mean, honestly,
Pro Bowl. We live in a world where the best quarterback on the planet didn't get enough Pro Bowl votes.
Yeah, but dude, we also live in a planet where Kels was the number 1 player. Like, Pro Bowl doesn't matter at all.
I agree. But also, Pro Bowl's a joke. No one cares. Did you guys see that video of Derrick Henry?
Mm-hmm.
It was so funny, dude. Some coach was like, "Congrats, man, you made the Pro Bowl," and he was just like he didn't react. He was like, "I don't give a fuck." Like, what? Their social team's bad.
I don't even care anymore.
Steve, what were you gonna say? All right, dude. Well, I have a game for you that you're really gonna care about. The Giants absolutely beat the shit out of the Colts. And this was, man, things were bad for the Colts this past week. McAfee went off. They're kind of a dumpster fire franchise at this point. They have a lot of talent on the roster, but they lack leadership big time. And you just can't get beat by the Giants this bad. Also, side note, the Giants were tanking and they just blew it. And that was hilarious to watch.
Drew Lock was sick. Do Giants fans hate him?
I would, man. That sucks. They might have just lost Shadur.
I saw after the game, Tommy Smokes, he's a Giants fan, he was tweeting how much he hates Drew Lock because he just won them this game.
That is really funny. Dude, and Drew Lock is like the perfect guy to do it
almost
too.
400 yards. Dude went off.
Holy shit. Dude, I didn't realize his stats were that crazy.
And I knew that.
Oh my Lord.
He's the first Giants player to ever have 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown.
I didn't even think about that because Daniel Jones was so bad that those stats are unheard of.
Let me look at his rushing yards. And just 5 rushing yards. But dude, he went off.
Love it. MIZ.
See you.
All right, next game. The Raiders beat the Saints. They also fucked up their tank job. They win 25-10 in a game that meant absolutely nothing to nobody. I think we can just move on from that game. Next game, another similar one. The Jaguars beat the Titans 20-13. Mac Jones. They said it on Part of My Take. This was like a throwback to the 80s or 90s when quarterbacks just were not mobile because Mac Jones and Mason Rudolph tried to run on scrambles, and it was painful to watch. Yeah, bad game. But Jaguars win. They fuck up their tank job. But the Titans continue to lose. They're going to be sitting in the top 3 spot most likely.
The 2-0 Saints were special, man.
And they just lost to the Raiders. That same team lost to the Raiders.
Why couldn't they just been a special team for 1 week?
Sorry, Scoot. You can still hit your nuclear.
I might have a whale play in the playoffs.
Psycho.
Game of the years are awesome though. We need to get Zach. Zach still hasn't done one. We need to get.
They gotta happen organically.
I was trying to get him to do one.
You're right.
I think Zach wanted that. He just didn't pull the trigger.
I was so excited about that.
You pulled it too fast.
Like, this line can't be real.
Which is nuts with how it finished. All right. Next game, Dolphins keep their playoff chances alive. They beat the Browns 20-3. They had no Tua in this game. It looked ugly, but they got the job done. The Browns are a defeated team. They look like shit. You don't win games when DTR plays. I think that's what Scott loves to say. But the Dolphins are 1 win and a Denver loss away from being in the playoffs, believe it or not, which would be it would be a real shame if we got deprived of the Bengals and we got the Dolphins instead, or if Denver needs to take care of business against the Chiefs, or else they don't deserve it.
Who needs Tua when you got?
We'll get to that game later.
Yeah, against the Browns.
Hey, they won by 17, man. Yeah. All right. Next game, Vikings beat the Packers 27-25, and I did not realize how close this was in the end. Was this garbage time churching up the score? That's what I thought, and that's what Jordan Love's really good at. That I feel like every time I see him losing a game, he's always getting his garbage time stats in.
The Packers don't. I was texting Wade about this game because I texted and I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of discouraged by the Packers, and he was like, dude, I told you the whole year they're so inconsistent, and like they take way too long to get going. Like they don't start scoring until the second half.
Yeah,
and that's
the Vikings
a
are
major
playing
issue.
Prevent defense for like 4 series, honestly. But they got a clutch first down at the end to seal the deal off a really ballsy play.
Yeah, the scoreboard doesn't tell a story here. The Vikings took care of business, and they look like the real deal. This next game coming up this week is
crazy that
so
I think
big.
the Vikings
I cannot wait for it.
Could be NFC champions.
No,
Dude, at this point, no.
After this game, I wouldn't be surprised.
Dude,
I would.
The locker room is so
man. All the
tight,
NFC
honestly,
is very thin.
I don't know if I told you guys. I think I might have told you, Kevin. They remind me of the Eagles when they beat the Patriots. Like, what if this is like the Cinderella story? The Vikings go and then they beat the Chiefs, like the dynasty of the time, and the Eagles beat the Patriots, the dynasty of the time. That would just be crazy.
Yeah, Darnold in the locker room. That video was really cool. All the players were celebrating with him and going nuts, and you got KOC in the corner just watching it, and you gotta love that because KOC was a quarterback, so he gets it. You know, he knows what Darnold's been through. It's a really awesome story. I like the Vikings.
That video was so awesome.
It was really cool.
I saw the most perfect caption. It was just something on Twitter. They were like, when you see all the college kids having fun at the club, or when it looks like fun, but you know you can't handle it, and it was the team just launching Darnold in the air.
Yeah, and O'Connell's just like
he's
smirking,
just sitting in the corner,
just like hell yeah. That was a great caption. I saw that tweet. All right, next game. This was another great game. Commanders beat the Falcons 30-24 and really hurt the Falcons' chances of making the playoffs. But Jaden Daniels, they secured the playoff spot with this win, correct?
Correct.
Yes, so Commanders are in the playoffs. Jaden Daniels, rookie year, playoff run. That's awesome. This was a really crazy finish at the end. Fun game. You guys got thoughts?
No, you go.
It went kind of... Sorry, go ahead, Steve. It went kind of how I thought think going into it, I said I think this is going to be the game where Jaden Daniels just shows up on primetime that he is the rookie of the year. And he was great, man. And
how dynamic of a rusher he was.
Glad.
I mean, when he's
Walmart version. He's great value Lamar.
Dude, not like really though.
In year one,
he's a better passer in my opinion already.
I know. We could go down that rabbit hole. Jaden Daniels he's kind of crazy to me because his college upbringing, it's kind of like Burrow-esque, and I don't say that just because of LSU, it's because of his transfers and everything, but man, what a fucking football life he's had so far. And it would be insane if he knocked off one of the big boys in a playoff game.
No one is talking about how fucking awesome the turnaround has been with Dan Quinn. I mean, Dan Quinn is a solid coach. When things ended up not working out with him in Atlanta, when he was, not taking a sack, Matt Ryan dipshit away from winning the Super Bowl, Dan Quinn is a solid coach, man. So I would just love to see him get his Super Bowl ring.
If 28-3 never happened, he'd be considered like one of the better coaches in the NFL because he has rings. Yeah. Because he won with Seattle.
Boom. Like he's the fucking Legion of Boom coach.
It's not like he, yeah, exactly. Like he is a great coach. That was an awesome hire by the Commanders. Again, Bears could have went after him, totally whiffed. But yeah, I don't know. Everything about the Commanders I love except for their gay ass name. They need to go back to the Redskins.
What did you guys think of Penix?
Dude, okay, so at first he was looking rough, but he
had that one
miscommunication
interception that was really bad. But
yeah,
he threw some really, really good balls, dude.
I'll say what I said to you when they started him. I said I didn't like the move because it was a desperate move and a desperation move, and you're putting him in a very difficult spot. Like, hey, go get us to the playoffs, boy, in your first couple games. I think that was fucked up. I think my biggest takeaway from this game, Raheem Morris is a fucking bad coach. He's a bad coordinator and a bad coach. I did not like what I saw when I watched him.
He's not a head coach.
In big games, he's not making good decisions.
I literally thought this forever.
I don't think he's a good coach at all.
That's a bad hire. I don't think, dude. I think if they would have kept,
and I think that will ultimately tank.
I think Penix,
career.
He's got the arm talent. Like he could be a good quarterback, but I don't see it happening in Atlanta. Like they're just a bad run organization. Their owner's kind of a dipshit too. Yeah, I don't fuck with Atlanta.
Arthur Blank.
They need to. I don't like Raheem Morris at all as that coach.
Fire Raheem Morris. Change the jerseys. They'll be good.
I personally think actually I'll just say it now because I think Tampa's going to end up winning the division. I think Atlanta is like the most underwhelming team of the year for sure.
Yeah,
they looked like they could have been a 12-win team at one point this year, and all they needed was a quarterback, we thought, and here we are.
In hindsight, with how weak that division is, they should have ran away with.
I would argue maybe the Bears just because they were 4-2 at one point and they were winning like those. I mean, I thought the Bears were gonna win like 9-10 games, and then they just stopped winning.
Bad coach, bad organization, and a gay quarterback. All right, next game, last game, Monday Night Football. The Lions put up 40. They win 40-34. The Niners showed some fight in this, but the Lions, although this game really didn't mean anything, they still played all their starters and they went full throttle. Their offense is still clicking, but their defense still showing a lot of leaky holes. Big game coming up that we'll get into when we cover Week 18. Any thoughts from this game other than Jared Goff?
I thought they were going to lose this game. I just don't. I'll be interested to see if they make a deep run because I don't remember the last team that won the Super Bowl that didn't have like a really good defense. It might have been the Chiefs that one year when their defense was like average. But I mean, their defense is, I think, bottom 10. I mean, they suck because everyone's hurt.
Yeah, the Anthony Hitchens defense was probably the last bad defense that won a Super Bowl.
Do you guys think, one, it's crazy to see the turnaround of the career of Jared Goff? I know we've already talked about that before, but do you think he's more of a product of they have an unbelievable offensive line and weapons, or is he just a good quarterback?
He was so when they were a bad team, like he was never the problem. Like when he first got there and they were a dog shit franchise, he still was like playing decent. I actually think Jared
But like
Goff, like
even in
you got to
LA,
remember
man, he
this
made
guy
some
was
bad plays and passes.
well.
Like he didn't look like a great quarterback. That's why they got rid of him.
I think people forget he was the first overall pick, and like
Mm-hmm.
most first overall picks are dog shit. Like when it's all said and done, him and Baker are the only like good ones of the last few years. Or am I forgetting someone big? Burrow. But I don't know. I think he's like if you put him on an average team, he'd still be good. But I still like I'm not a Lions believer, even if they didn't have all these injuries. I still am a guy that thinks Jared Goff, like he had his chance at a Super Bowl. He's not going to win one. There's the stats still exist. No one has gone to a Super Bowl, lost their first time, and ever gone back.
Damn, that's such a crazy stat. They've never even gone.
Which is why I'm not hot on the Eagles.
Like
who?
Holy shit!
No, never even been back.
If you lose your first Super Bowl,
dude, that's like a fucking crazy stat.
It is a crazy stat, but it's a real one.
That is wild. I think he definitely could
insane
win the Super Bowl. He's got all the talent to it, and he's been there before, and maybe he'd like learn from. Damn, that means Burrow will never win, Kev. If that stat holds true forever, that's crazy.
Which is why I've been calling them the Matt Ryan Falcons all along. Matt Ryan put up gaudy numbers. You know what's crazy, Steve? I don't know if you saw it or Scott saw it today. The stat of like it was all of the quarterbacks this season with 17 games. Like they've got one more game to play. No one has 5K, and meanwhile, Drew Brees was slinging 5K every season, dude. With 16 games. Like, we were very spoiled by incredible quarterback play. Matt Ryan was doing that shit. Drew Brees was doing that shit. Peyton Manning. Like, all those guys were putting up way better numbers than the quarterbacks now.
Games changed.
I know. None of those guys had the rushing numbers that most quarterbacks do in the game
really
now. So, I guess you have to factor that in. But, like, 5K was, like, attainable, and now it seems
year
like,
was kind of
if you get 5K, you got the
turn
MVP.
Back the clock, dude. Running back has been very important.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our Week 18 preview. Scott has Zach's pick, so we're just gonna go. We got the Browns on Saturday at 3:30, taking on the Ravens. This one's in Baltimore. The Ravens do have to play to win to secure the division. If they win, they win the division. Nothing else. No other games matter. They just need to win, and they win.
This line
Steve,
is
what's the spread?
Baltimore minus 19.5. Over under 41.5. This is a fucking college.
Dang it. You should have made me guess. I was going to say 21. Dude, you know what's fucking hilarious? I'm taking that spread.
Each time we do this, though,
that's
I
a college
throw
spread.
In incentive talk. So here's the Baltimore Ravens incentive. Derrick Henry gets 500K with a rushing touchdown this week. And then this is some debate after whether his total touchdowns are just rushing, but he has 16, he has 14 rushes, so he needs a rushing touchdown. Justice Hill with 8 receptions gets 250, and with 117 rushing yards for Justice Hill, he gets another 250. And then for the Browns, I don't see nothing for the Browns. They suck.
All right. Yeah, well, Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown, great bet this weekend.
Yeah.
Who are you on?
I'll take that disgusting spread. Well,
dude,
like,
the Browns have shown zero fight. It's
is
the last
Jameis
week.
starting?
They're planning their trips to Cabo.
Okay, well then,
That would
yeah,
change things, but no, I
He's
don't
not.
think he is.
Zach's on the Browns. I'm on the under. I don't think the Browns are really going to score.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but what if the Ravens go nutty? What's the over-under?
I mean, I don't see the Ravens winning 42-0.
I
Granted,
could absolutely see that.
but I think they could just go up a few touchdowns and just rest and get
Coast.
ready for playoffs next week.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next game we got the Bengals taking on the Steelers. If the Bengals win, their hopes are alive. The Steelers have already clinched a spot. I think they're still playing starters though. Do we know what the Steelers are going to be competing in this, correct?
That their starters.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
Okay. What's the spread here then?
Over under 48.5.
Cincinnati.
You were cutting out when you said the line. What's the line?
Cincy -1.5. Over under 48.
1.5. Oh wow. I kind of I feel like it's in Pittsburgh. It's a night game. I really do feel like Pittsburgh is going to bounce back after having these bad losses. They have a longer break because they played on Christmas Day. They just lost 3 straight. I think they're going to be super motivated, and they would love nothing more than to crush the Bengals' hopes. While everyone's been blowing the Bengals all week, oh, it'd be so great if they get in. I think the Steelers actually get this done and win. And
I've got no incentives on this. I'm taking the Bengals -1.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. This means everything to them.
All right. Yeah, but if you're the Steelers, but imagine being the Steelers and losing 4 straight going to the playoffs. That can't be good. They're going to try to win that game.
But they can lose 4 straight and still be in the playoffs. Bengals can't.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying that I think the Steelers are going to fight way more than people think. That spread makes sense. All right, next game. Next game, Panthers taking on the Falcons. This one's in Atlanta. Falcons are not dead. If they win, they just need Tampa to lose, and they will be in the playoffs. So they have everything
Falcons
to play for.
-7.5.
What's the spread here, Steve?
48.5.
Yeah, it's a big spread, but Carolina got shit pumped last week. What do you guys want here?
Zach and I are on the Panthers.
Yeah, dude, I just don't think
it's a big spread. And Penix, do we trust him yet? Yeah, I'll take the Panthers just because we don't know if we can trust Penix.
It's a B&E sweep. No incentives for that game.
All right. Next game, we got the Texans. All right, next game, we got the Texans taking on the Titans. This one's in Tennessee. The Texans have already clinched the division. Are they sitting, guys?
Yeah.
Tennessee -1.5.
So what's the spread, Stu?
Under 36.5.
Give me Davis Mills because I think that's who's going to be starting for the Texans. Dude, people forget Davis Mills was sick.
I'm going to take
for a
Houston
bad team.
Also because I think Tennessee, they don't want to win this game. Let me see. Houston, okay.
Yeah.
So this is
Tennessee really does
Joe
not
Mixon needs 107 yards to hit 1,100, and that would get him $250K, but he's probably going to sit.
You know what? Organizations should be like, hey,
and then
we're going to sit
Tony
you, but here's the money because we're sitting here.
83 rushing yards to hit 1,100. That gets him $200K. And then if he gets 2 touchdowns, he'll get another $200K.
I love that. Damn, I don't like the touchdowns, Pollard, but I'm taking his yards.
A 2-touchdown Pollard bet. That'd probably be a nice payout. Okay, but yeah.
Worth a sprinkle? Worth a sprinkle?
Zach's taking Houston. I'm going to take Mason Rudolph and the Titans.
Lone wolf in it.
Yeah.
All right, next we got the Giants taking on the Eagles. Like we talked about earlier, the Eagles are going to be benching guys. The Giants don't want to win this though, but Drew Lock might have a
Philly
save zone.
-3.
What's the spread
under
here?
37.5. Let me read you some incentives. It's Saquon. Reports that Barkley and starters will sit is what they're saying. Needs 100 rushing yards to have it. And then New York Giants, Malik Neighbors. He's battling out Brock Bowers for the receptions record. He's got 4 less than Brock Bowers.
Damn.
He's got
I didn't know Malik had that many catches this year.
Dude, Malik is sick. And you know what's crazy?
I would have guessed that Malik had maybe 70 catches.
Guys, the kid in Jacksonville has close
good.
numbers too.
He is good.
Yeah, they were both teammates at LSU with Jaden Daniels. Like, it is crazy. That LSU team was stacked.
Same with
they just
Joe
didn't
Burrow,
win shit.
Jamar Chase.
I
know, but crazy.
I know, but they won the Natty. That's what I'm saying.
Heisman.
LSU
for sure.
is wide receiver U. All right, I like the Giants here.
I'm taking
Yeah, me and Zach are taking Philly as well.
All right, I'll lone wolf. Give me Drew Lock. All right, next game we got the Jags taking on the Colts in a meaningless game because the Colts suck ass, and the Jags have Mac Jones playing. What's the spread here?
4.5, over under 43.5. Hey, is that guy still singing those Colts songs?
Dude, if he is, he's a great fan.
We love you.
I would hope that the Colts will come out motivated after getting shit on by McAfee.
I got no incentives for this, by the way.
No JT incentive. I'm shocked. He's usually a guy I would think would have some on the line.
Zach's on the Jags. I'm on the Jags. Colts have nothing to play for. Vibes are dead there.
But the Jags need to lose for a good pick.
I mean, they're not going to get the first pick.
Wait, no, this is in Indy. Yeah. If this was in Jacksonville, I would totally change.
But also, the Jags aren't going to get the first pick, so I don't really think it matters, man.
There's a lot of teams.
I don't think every team is going to intentionally lose. We've seen plenty of teams win in week 17 or 18 when they need to lose.
It is crazy how many positions are going to flop.
Peterson is thinking he's going to get fired, so he'd probably be like, "Oh, fuck these guys," and go off and win the game. So I'm taking Jags also.
Damn. All right. I'll lone wolf on both those. All right. Next game, we've got the Commies taking on the Cowboys. What's the spread? That'll tell us if they're benching
44.5. I think this is for seeding purposes.
They're playing for seeding, which honestly is smart. They need to win this game.
Here's the breakdown if you don't know the seeding.
Yeah.
If the Commanders win, they would likely go to LA.
No,
yeah.
If
they lose, they would likely go to they would be the 6th seed. Oh no, I'm sorry. If they win, they would go to LA. If they lose, they would go to
All right,
Tampa.
I've got some incentives for this game.
It's one of those.
Right? This is all for Zach Ertz. So $250K if he gets 9 catches, because that'll get him to 70. $250K if he hits 90 yards, because that'll get him to 700 yards. And then $250K if he gets 2 touchdowns, because that'll be a total of 8.
Dude, Zach Ertz has had a good season. What a revitalization of a career. When he went to Arizona, I thought he was washed, going to be done forever, and now he's killing it with he in that game against Atlanta. He came up huge a lot, and I feel like every game I watch the Commanders play, he's making plays.
Dude, Ertz I don't think his
stats are crazy, but NFL he makes big catches.
Super Bowl champ, he was so clutch in that Super Bowl. That nasty touchdown reception.
Yeah. He's a damn good ball player for sure. Yeah, give me the Commies.
Yeah, Commies.
I think they're gonna try to win this one, and the Cowboys suck.
Zach's on the Commies. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I don't think Jaden's gonna play the whole game. I don't know, man. Just week 18,
you think
dude,
a late cover?
I know. Yeah,
I have no idea, dude. Just week 18 is weird.
True.
Also,
division rivals, they're on the road.
Question marks. I'm kind of bummed that this is gonna mess with our records for the year. Like, I likely would be staying away from most of these games.
Oh, yeah. Like, actual gambling purposes, yeah. All right. Next game, the Bears take on the Packers. What's the spread here? It's in
Pack
Lambeau. What's the spread here to see if they're sitting guys?
No, they need seating. They want to win.
Okay. Yeah, give me the Packers.
Yeah, I took Packers. Let me see if there's any incentives in this game.
I had that seeding wrong. Sorry. If the Commanders win, they
Eagles.
go to LA. If they lose, they go to Philly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's the same here with the Packers. If they
You don't want to go to Philly, basically. Wait, so if both win, what happens?
Green Bay goes to Philly.
Okay, I want that.
I'll literally bet on Green Bay in that game.
Money. Yeah, me too. Crazy. Me too.
Money
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, I got no incentive stuff, but here's some just interesting. There's a couple players on the Bears who are knocking on the door for 1,000 yards. DeAndre Swift, he needs 106 yards for 1,000 rushing. DJ Moore, he needs 120 for 1,000 yards. And that's it. And also, I'm looking at, dude, Jaden Daniels has 864 yards rushing. That's fucking crazy, dude. I did not.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he was my fantasy quarterback, and I felt it. That dude put up fantasy numbers like you wouldn't believe.
Did he have sick playoff stats for you?
Nope. Next game. How did your playoff run go? Oh yeah, fuck you.
Do you want to let me and Zach make our picks?
Oh shit, sorry. I'll be shocked if you.
Zach's on the Packers. I'm taking the under. I don't think the Packers are going to play everyone, and the Bears might not score a point.
I thought you were going to take the Bears, and I was going to be like so dumbfounded. All right, next game we got the Saints taking on the Bucks. Like we discussed earlier, the Bucks need to win. If they win, they are in. Spencer Rattler's playing for the Saints, or Jake Haener.
Tampa minus 13.5.
What's the spread here, Steve?
43.5.
Fucking massive spread. Yeah, it's like you're talking about with these teams. Like once they get up, they might pull guys.
It's a lot for you. It's mainly Baker and Mike Evans. It's incentives and it's like milestones. Okay, so holy fuck, Mike Evans, $3 million bonus for 70+ catches, 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He needs 5 catches, 85 yards, and he already has 10 touchdowns. So he needs 5 catches, 85 yards.
For $3 million, that's one of the biggest bonuses I've ever
11
seen.
Straight 1,000-yard season, and then he gets 666,000 if he remains top 10 in receiving touchdowns. So if he stays,
how many games did he miss?
3 or 4. 3 or 4. Now I got Baker.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Each worth 500,000. Currently set to hit all of them. He needs to finish top 10 in the NFL. Or top 5 in NFC in the following. Passer rating, he's 4th. Touchdown passes, he's 2nd. Passing yards, 2nd. Completion percentage, 2nd. And yards, he's 5th. So he's likely to get that $500K bonus. That's pretty sick. Dude,
God bless him.
I love incentive deals.
I'm so happy for Baker.
Like, bet on themselves, man. It's fucking sick. Oh.
Dude, they had to give him something to get him to stay in Tampa this year.
You know, the most badass ones are Super Bowl incentives.
The Saints have one. This is a good one. Marquez Valdes-Scantling gets $250K if he catches a touchdown because he'll hit 5 total. I know, dude.
Oh, dude, shit.
I love this That'd shit. This is my favorite, the incentives, man.
Yeah, like week 18, like football, like on the field
Scott
isn't
Hansen,
great,
really
but like the incentive shit is electric.
Like breaking down all the incentives like in real time when they happen. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Zach on the Bucks. I'm on the over.
Bucks for sure.
All right.
Wait, is that beginning sweep?
Yeah, I'm on Bucks, obviously. No, he had the over. The only thing that scares me is like what Scott was saying about like if they get up, I could see them pulling starters and shit. But I don't
Dude, I
know,
don't
man. The
see
Saints are
Tampa
really bad.
pulling
Yeah,
starters. They have to win to make
No,
playoffs.
yeah.
they're
No, I know, but
they're
like fourth
going
quarter
nutty
backdoor
in this
cover.
game.
I get what you're saying. I would love to see all
Yeah.
those incentives hit. That would be so sick. All right, next we got the Bills taking on the Patriots. This one's in Gillette, but the Bills are locked in the 2 seed. They will be sitting starters. I know that.
Dude.
What's the spread here, Steve?
Bills minus
Mitch
2.5.
Trubisky game.
Over under 37.5.
Yeah, dude. I like the Bills here and Mitch and the Patriots
Yeah,
securing the number
I
1
do as
overall pick.
well. That's a beauty sweep. I'm looking at incentives right now.
Steve?
No incentives for this game, but James Cook needs 19 yards to get 1,000.
So they'll put him in for like the first drive and pull him out? Or do you think they'll even like that would be so lame if they didn't give him at least one
I'm
carry.
looking at some of these 1,000-yard receiving people who are close on the bubble. It's crazy that Tyreek is close to 1,000. Calvin Ridley too. And Jawan Jennings. I mean, these numbers are kind of crazy.
Dude, Tyreek fell off so much.
His wrist
Dude,
hurts.
you are
He got
right.
cuffed too hard.
You're right. True. All right. Next game, the Chargers are taking on the Raiders. I think the Chargers might be playing for seeding here. This one's in Vegas. What's the spread, Steve?
Chargers are only favored 4.5, and the over/under is 40.5. So are they still have to? They gotta play starters, right?
They might be locked
really
in a
have to.
spot.
It depends. If
I think they are locked in a spot.
so the Chargers are in a perfect spot for the schedule right now because the only team that they're fighting with for seeding is Pittsburgh, and they play on Saturday. So if
That's kind
Pittsburgh
of bullshit.
if Pittsburgh was to lose, the Chargers could say, we want to win this game and play all our guys. That way we go to Houston. Or if they lose, they go to Baltimore. So
We need Pittsburgh to win that fucking game.
yeah. I am going to take the Chargers, though. So Zach.
Let me check.
Same.
Incentives really quick. Jacoby Myers, he needs
All right, next.
96 yards to hit 1,000. Las Vegas.
That's
Dobbins, 150K with 68 rushing yards to hit 900.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah,
JK's he's back and he's good, man.
Rushing yards, so he's chomping at getting 1,000.
All right, sweet. All right, next game we got the Niners taking on the Cardinals. This one's in Arizona. Both teams not playing for anything because the Niners were eliminated last week.
The Cardinals
and the Cardinals. What's the spread here, Steve?
42.5.
I mean, are the Niners just going to be any guys that are banged up? I guess are probably sitting out. So
750K if he gets 50 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown to hit 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. So yeah, he needs a touchdown. He needs a rushing touchdown to get to 6, and then needs 50 yards to get to 600 rushing yards. So he has to score a touchdown though. That's for 700 bones.
I like the yards for sure. I guess he's probably
and I got nothing
both, so take them both gambling wise. Yeah, I have a feeling I could see the Niners just sitting like a lot of people because I think Purdy's banged up. Kittle, it seems like he's always banged up. Nick Bosa always banged up. Like
I was gonna take
why
even
risk injury?
The incentives for Kyler because he's gonna ball for 750 bones. So I'll take Arizona.
Same.
I'm gonna take Arizona. Zach's taking the Niners.
Ooh. All right, game of the week. We got the Chiefs taking on the Broncos. This one is in Denver, and this is the Carson Wentz game.
Denver minus 10.5.
What's the spread right now?
39.5.
ridiculous spread, disrespectful spread. Carson Wentz is going to make this a game. I think this is going to be close.
Cortland Sutton gets 500K with 82 receiving yards because then he'll hit 1,065. So he needs 82 receiving yards. And then for the Chiefs, DeAndre Hopkins, he gets 250K if he gets 9 catches because that'll get him to 65. And then he gets 250K with 140 receptions. That'll get him to 750.
I thought he had
9
what was
catches
the first
to
one
get
you
him
said,
to
Steve?
65.
For D-Hop?
He needs 140.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
To hit 140 yards to hit 750.
He's not gonna play. I thought I heard that he only needed like 18 yards or something small, something obtainable.
Milestone.
I thought I heard that earlier in the week.
Possibly.
Oh no, I think D-Hop has one. I think it's like a low one because everyone was the podcast I was listening to was like, yeah, like, but he's kind of older. Like, do we think he's gonna play or not? I don't know, but yeah, like I said, I think Carson Wentz makes this a game. I think the Broncos get the job done, but I think it's a nail biter. I really do. The Chiefs are a deep team, man. Like I cannot wait to watch this game because I get to watch.
I'm pumped to watch Carson Wentz play.
Well, I'm being dead serious. Like I can't wait to watch like the depth of our roster play. Like Leo Chanel's gonna have the green dot. Like our young corners are gonna be playing. I'm actually very intrigued to see how we hold up.
Freaking Justin Watson and fucking Carson Steele's gonna go run. Yeah, dude. Chiefs,
Amy Cole, I think is gonna get activated.
I wouldn't be shocked if they fucked around and won it.
It would be crazy. I'm rooting for the win, but I just don't want the Bengals to make playoffs. Not because I'm scared of them by any means. I just hate the Bengals.
Who do you want to make the playoffs? Denver or Miami?
I think Denver deserves it, but again, Denver does not deserve it if they don't beat the Chiefs.
I want Cincinnati to make it just so we get to see Bills-Bengals round 1.
Yeah, someone made that point. It's
like
a
the
great
Bills
point.
The Bills will win that game, so I'd at least rather see a fun round 1 game than the Bills beat the Broncos or the Dolphins.
Right, and someone made that point, and I was like, yeah, that is a great point because worst case scenario, the Bengals beat the Bills or the Ravens, and we don't have to deal with one of those two teams, and we get the Bengals who have a terrible defense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just hate the Bengals. And you guys know I'm a closet Broncos fan, so sue me. All right, next game. We got the Seahawks taking on the Rams. This one's in L.A. The Rams locked up their playoff spot, but I think they're still fighting for seeding. What's the spread here, Steve?
6.5 over under 38.5. I've got some Geno incentives for you. It would appear
so they're benching guys. The Rams are.
Yeah. Jimmy G's starting.
It says $2 million each for surpassing career highs. So his passing yards, he needs 186, and then if he maintains 70.2 completion percentage, and then 10 wins in the playoffs. So he gets $2 million if they win. He keeps his completion percentage above 70.2, and if he gets 186 yards, he's gonna go nutty in this game. I think I'd take Seahawks. And then
Seahawks.
Nothing for the Rams. Yeah. Is that a sweep?
Seahawks.
I don't know if Geno's actually even playing. Just so you know.
That'd be crazy if his backup got him $2 million for getting 10 wins.
Be the yard short.
Or wait, would that even count then?
It says, I'm on here. This says the Seahawks team can keep an extra $6 million in its pocket by making sure Geno doesn't hit multiple incentives, which could be his last game in a Seattle uniform.
Yeah, if they want to be done with Geno, they could just be like, "Hey, fuck you."
Because
kick his ass out the door.
Isn't that much for an owner, and that sends a bad message to free agents. They're going to be like, "Oh, fuck these guys. They don't want me to get my incentives that I worked hard for." Yeah,
that's not an organization I would want to go play for. That's for sure.
No free agent would ever fucking sign there, ever. That's just some article phrasing it that way. I don't like the way they phrase that at all. I'm telling you, there's no way that happens.
And yeah, Scott, look at the spread. Like, give me the Seahawks.
I'm gonna take the under, Zach's on the Seahawks.
Under, yeah. The Rams offense was looking like poop with their starters, so. All right, next game, we got the Dolphins taking on the Jets. The Dolphins' life is on the line if they win and who is it? Pittsburgh or if they win and Denver loses, they are in. What's the spread here, Steve? It's
line.
in New York at MetLife. Dolphins minus
Dolphins
8.5.
1.5.
What?
I'm looking up.
Wow. It is. So I had a
the
note.
weather.
I don't know what the incentives are, Steven, but I had a note in this game. I just saw a tweet that said Rodgers is hinting that he's going to retire and this could be his last game ever. So I will be taking the Jets in this one in the hopes that Rodgers is going to ball out in his last game ever.
It's going to be 35 degrees.
And Tua has never won above 40, but is Tua even playing? Yeah, exactly.
So.
Also,
no.
Do you guys know what his injury is?
Mm-mm.
I don't either. And I want to call him a pussy. You got the playoffs on the line and you're not fucking playing? That's crazy.
I didn't even think Aaron Rodgers was going to play in this one. I thought it was going to be Tyrod Taylor, but either way, I'm taking the Jets. I think they're going to win.
I'm taking the Jets playing spoiler because it's 35
degrees. Too.
That's a beauty sweep.
All right. And if all three teams that had to win lost and the Broncos still got in?
That'd be so gay, dude, because you have to win.
That would make it even sweeter for the Bengals, though.
It would make that's like perfect scenario for a Chiefs fan, basically. Well, no, we want the Dolphins in.
All right,
no, we want a team that can try to beat up the other team. Anyways,
that's it for the incentives. So they're players either already hit theirs or it's unobtainable.
So the game of the week and the biggest game of the entire regular season is the final game of the regular season, and it is the Vikings going to Detroit to play the Lions for the number 1 seed. I don't ever recall a game where the number 1 seed was up between both teams in the final game of the year. This is going to be epic. Everything's on the line. You got a bye on the line. That would be massive for the Lions specifically because of their banged up roster. Vikings are hot. Lions are hot.
This might be the biggest regular season game I can ever think of.
Seriously, like with most at stake.
This game's reminds me of when it would be like a Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, Patriots Colts build up.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen this. You have the ability to go from the 1 seed to the 5 seed.
How crazy is it that Detroit's pretty much been penciled in as the unanimous one all year, and they could drop to 5.
Yep.
Detroit minus 2.5.
Steve, what's the spread?
Over under 56.5.
Love the spread. Give me the Vikings.
What's Zach take?
Skull.
He's on the Vikings. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I know there's going to be a fuck ton of points.
I was initially on the Vikings, but I switched to the over because I agree with you.
I think there's going to be controversy in this game, and I think the better coach gets it done, and that's why I like the Vikings. I think a classic Dan Campbell flub is going to happen here that people talk about for the next week, leading into the playoffs. I have a feeling there's going to be controversy in how this game ends. I'm really excited. That's going to be must watch. That's the game. Yes. It's like, how do people not watch football? Everything's on the line. That's going to be awesome, man. What a great way to finish the regular season. That does it for our preview of Week 18. We're going to move on to our locks of the week. Scott, if you want to read records overall and everything, now would be a good time. We're a hot podcast.
It was a clean sweep on locks of the week, and game of the year. Me, Zach, and Steve are all 9-8 on the year. Kevin is 11-5-1.
Gang.
Then let's see what we got. Week 17. Me and Zach. Kevin went 8-8. Me and Zach went 9-7. Steve went 10-6. And we lost one game on our money line parlay. It was the Packers.
All right, we gotta
to the
speed
Vikings.
through this. My phone's about to die.
Yeah. All right. Lock of the week.
Zach's going with the Vikings plus 2.5.
I love that.
That's crazy.
I'm right.
That's not my lock of the week. There was a lot of big spreads, but dude, maybe it's because I'm such a homer, but like I really do think the Chiefs, like that's a huge spread, and I believe in our depth. I'm gonna make that my. Was it 10.5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I think that's a crazy spread.
Smart.
Well, Steve, I hope you lose.
I'm gonna go with Old Reliable.
Fuck, dude,
I'm gonna take Baker Mayfield in the over.
What was the over?
43.5.
Okay.
What did you take, Kevin? Chiefs?
Chiefs 10.5. What was the Bengals line?
1.5.
Okay.
Steve, I almost did that with you.
Guys, it's gonna. I bet the Steelers are gonna be wearing all black. It's a night game. It's on a Saturday, and that stadium is gonna be fucking popping. I'm not that confident that the Bengals are just gonna walk in there and get it done.
Steelers are frauds, dude.
Well, we'll know for sure if they blow that game. All right. Moneyline parlay. We have a chance to make some juicy, make some not so juicy. I'm trying to find a team that I like. There's a lot of games where there's so many games this week where it's like I really don't know who's going to win. I'll just start it off with the. I'll start with the Falcons.
All right, well then give me the Bucs. They gotta win also, and I think they're gonna win in rape fashion.
Dude, that's minus 900.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Want to pick the Ravens too, Scott?
Heavy favorites.
No, we already have a ballsy one because Zach's money line picks the Vikings.
Wait, his money line's the Vikings?
Yes.
Going all in.
What a douche. That was lazy. He was just like, that's my lock week. I'll go ahead and make it.
No, I texted him and I actually asked him. I said, why on earth would you pick that? And he just said, the Vikings can score and the Lions can't play defense, which is not wrong.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
Huge game. All right, well.
Dude,
now I'm just curious. We're at plus 216. I might just fuck around and have some fun since we have that. So we've got two heavy. I'm debating taking the Chiefs.
Money line?
Debating it.
Dude, come on.
Dude, we need the Vikings to go in.
You're the biggest Broncos hater I know in my life, I think.
Did you not just say you were like pumped and we could win this game?
I said I think we keep it close, but like it's just crazy that you pick against the Broncos like so much.
Dude, the Chiefs are plus 420.
I thought we were trying to win one of these.
I'm at 4%.
Well, we have literally the Vikings on it too.
Go ahead and do the Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs.
Dang, this payout's going to be juicy. Plus 1,545.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous payout because the odds of the Chiefs and the Vikings winning are insane. That
Dude, well, you
alone,
got to do
that parlay,
something. You
that
have to do
parlay
something
alone,
to match a minus 420 and a minus 900 pick.
it's called a money line parlay for a reason.
Yeah, but if I pick something else, we're going to be at like plus 200.
I like winning money. I don't know about you. Steve, what are you doing?
This phone's about to die.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that does it. That's week 18 preview. Next week, we got playoffs. All right. That does it for B&E Ball Talk. That's B&E Ball Talk.